Good morning, everybody. My name is Pedro Dias. I'm 39 years old. I'm from Portugal. And well, when she didn't invite me to come here today, she gave me a very big challenge. First was to talk only for 12 minutes. People who know me in 12 minutes, I cannot even not say my entire name, okay? So this was the first challenge. But then she said to you have to talk in 12 minutes in front of a big audience, and you have to wear a suit. And I was like, oh my God, 1.5 years of a pandemic situation, and I don't know if I get into a suit. So I have to run for 1 week and shut my mouth. And well, first objective, I think it's okay. Let's see if I can manage the second one. Well, with my presentation today, I would like to tell you a really beautiful story, a really nice story. Unfortunately, it's not. It's my real story. Probably, it's the first time that I'm talking to an audience of some of the things that happened with me in my life. Let's see how it goes. There's some deep things that I will talk. I never talked before. But I wanted to present that to you because I want for you to understand what is in the other side of the medals. Because most of the people, they only see the good parts. People going to the tournaments, winning, famous, some get money, not my case, but that's the other part, the afterwards. Well, I started doing judo when I was 6 years old. I did judo because my mom, she wanted to do judo when she was little one. And, my grandmother, she told, you're a girl, you should do ballet, not judo. So no, forget about judo. So when I went to school, they had judo there, and my mom said, okay, I could not do judo, but my son, he will do judo. So I did judo, it was fun, and the school, it finished at 10 years old, when I was 10 years old, and I had to move to another school. So in the other school, there was no more judo, and the coach came to my mom and he said, well, I think he's very talented. I think he has to continue with judo, and there's a club nearby, you should take him. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm good, yeah. But then I realized he told the same story for all the moms, you know. So eventually from the group of 10, 2 went to the club. And in the club I enjoyed. I went there, it was funny, I had my friends, I go to tournaments, sometimes I win, sometimes I lose, but it was funny. And in 1996, I was at home on holidays, and I loved the Olympic Games, and I was watching the Olympic Games, and suddenly there was passing the judo competition. And I was watching to the judo competition, and I was like, whoa, this is cool. Olympic Games. What is the Olympic Games? I think maybe it's one of the few opportunities where you are in one competition. It doesn't matter if you're rich or if you're poor. It doesn't matter if you're beautiful or if you're ugly. It depends on your effort, on if you are good or if you're not good. So I said, okay, I want to go to the Olympics. I I was 14 years old. 14 years old at the time. And I decided, okay, I will go to the Olympics. So at the time, I made a definition of objectives. I wanted to go to the Olympics. And with 14 years old, I started to program my life to achieve this objective. So I said, okay, we are in 96. Can I go to the Olympics in 4 years? I will be 18. Difficult. In judo, very difficult. In 8 years, could be possible, but difficult. Okay, let's point for 12 years. I will work in 12 years. But in between, what I will do? Well, first I have to be in the national team. I'm still not even in the national team, so I have to get in the national team. Then I want to start getting some experience at international level. Okay, in 4 years, I want to be already in the top of the world ranking. In 8 years, I want to get already good points to start trying to qualify for so I made my objective and the key results that was going to allow me to get these final objectives. So then I developed, of course, it was not a really good SWOT analysis. It was a 14-year-old kid SWOT analysis possible. I said, okay, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Am I really good in judo? No, not really. I was not very talented. So what I could be good, I could practice more than everybody else. So if my opponent practices 4 hours a day, I will practice 6, 8. If my opponents goes to 3 competitions, I will go to 6 or 7. So I was always working harder than my opponents, and this was my strongest point. And then I had to judo is individual sport, but I had to form a team around me. So I had to have a coach, physiotherapist, a medic, a nutritionist, and so on and so on. So I start picking people, phoning, I'm going to the Olympic Games. Are you going to help me? This guy is crazy. And the last one, but most important of all, you have to be passionate of what you do. Because if I'm trying to go to the Olympic Games in judo, and if I'm not passionate of doing judo, it's going to be impossible. It's too hard for you to do something that you're not passionate about. Well, you saw my plans, but in these plans, there was no mentioning about the other part. For example, my studies, my academic career. So, did my coaches care about this when I told them that I was going to the Olympic committees? To the Olympic Games, sorry? No. Did my club care about my studies? No. Did my federation care about my studies? No. Does the Olympic Committee care about my studies? No. Does the government care or do anything? We will see a little bit later what have they developed at the time. So we saw here a lot of stakeholders, coaches, clubs, federation, Olympic Committee, people who are responsible for my integral development, but nobody cares. They were just, okay, if he wants to go to the Olympic Games, we will help him to go to the Olympic Games. We will do whatever we can for him to win the medal, but that's it. We don't care about anything else. The only ones who really cared, it was my parents. It was my parents. So, but in my head, I was, imagine, 16, 18, 20 years old. I had a dream to go to the Olympic Games. It was a very hard dream. I was completely focused in the Olympic Games, and then only my parents were like, you have to study, you have to study. Remember, one day this will be over, and you have to study. But I was like, okay, nobody cares. And they are just annoying me with this, I have to study, I have to study. I don't care. So most of the times what happened? Conflict. I had big conflict with my parents. At a certain point, I had to leave home. I went to live for the sports center for 2 years because every day I was discussing with my mother. So actually, she was completely right, but she didn't have the right and the proper tools to work the subject of dual career with me. Because no, people don't even talk about dual career 15 years ago. As I was saying, what did the government in Portugal did at the time with dual career? We have one of the best laws in Europe regarding dual career. Honestly, they are really, really good laws, but they don't work. They don't work. So we have support in school. So eventually, if I'm at school and if I go to a competition, the school has to let me allow to go to the competition, and when I return, they will give me a teacher who will teach me what I miss, and they will allow me to do extra exams. No, this was in the law, but when I go to the school, hey, I'm going to a competition and I need your help, and they were, I don't care. If you miss the exam, you fail your year. So they also had the support to go to university. They said, okay, if you are a high-level athlete, you don't have to have so much good grades to go to university. At a certain point, this helped me, but at the same point, I got more relaxed in school because I was like, okay, I have a law who will put me in university, so I don't have to study that much. And then we were supposed to have support in university, like in school, with a tutor and so on, but didn't exist. And we also were supposed to have the support on a law who is saying, okay, if you continue in the Olympic project for, I don't know, 8, 12 years, on the road, you will earn one determinate amount of money for your future. So first, for you to be in the Olympic project for 8, 12 years in a row, that's almost impossible. Only my friend Susana, who is here, she's one of the few Portuguese who did it with 5 participation in Olympic Games. Applause to my friend Susana. So imagine, in 2 years you're in the top of the world, but in 6 months if you have an injury, you are out. So you don't fill out anymore the 8 years in a row that they ask you. And even though for the people who fill out the 8 or 12 years, I don't remember, okay, you will earn 10,000 euros. And then you go to the government, knock, knock, I need my 10,000 euros. Oh, that's in the law, but we don't have the money. So the laws were very good, but they were ineffective. They were not connected with the real world. World. Okay, yep. Okay. Well, the ride was not easy. I managed when I was junior, under 21 at the time, I managed to be number 1, number 2 in the world ranking. But then when I moved forward to seniors, it was very, very hard for me. During 3 years, in the competitions that were giving me points to the Olympic Games, I won 0 fights. 0. So for 3 years, I was practicing every day, twice a day, going to university, giving judo classes to young kids to earn some money to pay for my expenses as a judo athlete, going to competitions that give me points to the Olympic Games, and losing in the first match. And everybody surrounding me was like, this guy is crazy. Like doing a lot of effort and he's going nowhere, and he's crazy. And at a certain point, people said, Pedro, did you already think about it? Maybe you're not going to the Olympic Games? I said, well, maybe I'm not going. Maybe I'm not good enough, but I have to try. I have to give my best. So I keep trying. And at a certain point, the coach in the national team, they changed. And my best friend went to be the national coach. And this was a turning point in my life. So I feel more comfortable, more realized, and I start winning combats, I start winning medals, I start winning important competitions. And eventually I got 3rd place in the European Championships, in seniors, in under 23. I was 9th place in the Olympic Games. I won 4 medals in the World Circuit, 5th place in the World University Championship, 9th place in Universiades 2 times. So I was not Olympic champion, I'm sorry, but I'm happy with my career. I was fulfilled with what I did. And this picture, it's a picture of the exact moment that I left the mat in the Olympic Games in 2008, that I start crying a lot. I really, really start crying a lot. And people, I just have lost my last match. I won 2 matches, one of them against the Brazilian who was 2 times world champion and favorite to win the Olympic Games. But then I lost to North Korea and to Italy. And when I lost the fight, I'm out, and when I'm going to the warming up area, I start crying a lot, but really a lot. And people thought I was crying because I lost. But no, I was crying because I was no more vision. Because my dream, 12-year-old dream, finished at that point. Life made no more sense for me at that moment. Because, okay, I've done it, I've been to the Olympic Games, it's over, and now what? And now what? So I was crying because I was desperate, because I had no vision. And this is something that people don't feel very comfortable to talk about. In athletes, this is, I don't know the word in English, impiedoso. Ruthless, yeah, ruthless. At a certain point, you are at top of the world. You are famous, you're in TV, you earn money, you do whatever you want. And then you just go down. Nobody cares about you. Nobody cares if you have money. Nobody cares if you finish your studies. Nobody cares if you have any kind of problem. And suddenly, I realized, okay, I'm 26 years old. I didn't finish my university yet. I was winning some money, 850 euros a month, being a top-level athlete from the Olympic Committee. The moment I stopped with the Olympic Committee, no more money. So I had to start all over again. I had to reset and start over. But when you're 14 and you live in your parents' house, that's very simple. That's very easy. When you're 26, and imagine, you were all your life an example for everybody around you. So everybody like, oh, I want to be like him, I want to be like him. And suddenly, you're 26 and, okay, maybe I have to go to work to a supermarket, or maybe I have to go to clean the streets to earn some money to survive until the period I finish my university and until the period I get my job. And for example, in my case in Portugal, this was so hard for me, but so hard that I moved to Brazil. Because I was embarrassed that in my country, in Portugal, some months before, I was an example, and suddenly I could be an example for the worst part. So imagine somebody. It's not no problem to work in the supermarket. Now I'm not talking about it, but imagine if I'm working at supermarket and suddenly a person goes, "Oh, this guy went to the Olympic Games 1 year ago, and now he's working on the supermarket. So I don't want my son to have this future. I want my son to be a lawyer, engineer, a doctor. So if you're an athlete, this is your future." So I was too embarrassed. So I went to Brazil. If I had to start from zero, I wanted to start from zero, away from my country, not to be embarrassed. So I went to Brazil and I start from zero, and I had some success in Brazil. But unfortunately, not all my friends could move forward like I did. I gave you here the example of two great athletes. They were way better athletes than I was. Claudia from Austria or Craig from Great Britain. They feel so much depression of their post-career, and this is way beyond dual career. It's way beyond. It's your mental health. Your mental health. And they didn't handle the pressure. They committed suicide. Both of them. And everybody was really sad they committed suicide. But almost nobody helped them during this period. Well, like I did, life goes on. I have to reset, to start all over again. I went to Brazil. Before I finished my sport management university in Portugal, I opened a sport event organization in Brazil, which I was pretty successful. Then I came to Portugal. I work as a judo coach, and I managed to put this young girl who is in the picture, Raquel, as second place in the world in the European Championship. She's one of the best judo players at the moment. I did a lot of other educational courses, especially related with the Olympic movement, the New Leaders Program, also MEMUS, who is a master's degree for the Olympic Committee. And well, here I am, and in front of you, and one of my targets now is to work so other people like me who had the same dream, who had the same vision, don't have to pass for the same things that I did. Thank you very much for your attention. Shirin, I don't know if there's any questions. Audience here is very shy.
No, we're involved.
Thank you very much.